Erev Tov Rabotai, we're continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Bikkurim. We're up to Perek Gimel, Mishnah Gimel. Today's Mishnah should be Le'elu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Aranbayev, Neriyahu ben Burcha Yisraelov, Menuchatam beGan Eden, Amen. Today's Mishnah is going to describe how the people bringing Bikkurim to Yerushalayim would form a festive procession. The Mishnah begins, HaKiruvim, Mivi'im, Atenim, Ba'anavim. Those who live near Yerushalayim would bring fresh figs and grapes as Bikkurim, because it's preferable to bring fresh fruits rather than dry ones. Varechukim Mivi'im, Girogarot, Vetzimukim. Those who live far from Yerushalayim, they would bring dried figs and raisins, because fresh fruits might spoil by the time they reach the Arabayit, the temple. Vashur olech lifnehem, the ox walks in front of them. And the Mefarshim explained, the Rav says, this ox is offered as a shenamim offering, because like we learned in chapter 2, Mishnah 4, someone who brings Bikkurim must also bring a shenamim offering. Each person owned part of the ox, but the offering would belong to all of them. The kalnav mitzupot zahav, and its horns are coated with gold. V'atara shel zayit berosho, and a wreath of olive branches is on its head. And the Mefarshim explain, of all the trees of the 7 species from which Bikkurim are brought, the olive tree is the most beautiful, and its leaves are the freshest, which is why we use it for the crown, so to speak, on its head. The flute plays in front of them until they approach Yerushalayim, because the sound of a flute can be heard from far away, and it's announced to all within hearing range that a Bikkurim procession is approaching. Once they approach Yerushalayim, they send messengers ahead of them to let the people of Yerushalayim know that they are coming, because at this point, the Mefarshim explained, the flutist stops playing and they wait until the officials of the temple come out to greet them. After they are greeted, they resume their march, and the flutist starts playing again, like we will see in the next Mishnah. And in the meantime, they adorn their baskets of Bikkurim. Those bringing dry fruits like dry figs or raisins, they obtain fresh ones and put them around the rim of the basket. Those bringing fresh fruits put the most attractive ones on top. Hapachot, Hasiganin, Vagizbarim, Yotzim Likratam, the princes, the leaders of the Kohanim, which is what we define as princes, and the treasurers of the temple, they come out to greet them. According to the honor of those going in is the honor of those going out, meaning the greater the number of people bringing Bikkurim, the greater the number of officials going out to greet them. Because now, although the Mishnah's literal meaning of the honor of those going in refers to the status and the prestige of the people involved, the Yerushalmi argues that this cannot be correct, because when it comes to fulfilling mitzvot, there's no difference between people of higher and lower status. Anyone doing a mitzvah is considered important and must be honored. So the Yerushalmi explains the Mishnah as referring to the number of people. And when they enter the city, all the craftsmen of Yerushalayim stand up before them as a show of honor for people doing a mitzvah. And the Mefarshim explain, someone who is busy working need not stop when a Torah scholar passes by to stand in his honor. However, he is obligated to stand for those who bring the Bikkurim, because the mitzvah is especially precious at the time it's being performed. So for the same reason, workers must rise in honor of people carrying a deceased person to be buried or carrying a baby to be circumcised, and here they would stand as well. Vishalin bishlomam, they inquire about their welfare, saying, Achenu anshe makom ploni batem l'shalom, our brothers, the people of such and such place, have you arrived in peace? Meaning, have you arrived without any trouble on the way? That is Anabotev Mishnah Gimel. Mishnah Dal continues now. After those who bring the Bikkurim are greeted by the officials of the temple, they resume their march, once again led by the flutist. Hechalil makel lifnehem ad shemagin la'Harabayit. The flute plays in front of them until they reach the Temple Mount. Higiu la'Harabayit. When they reach the Temple Mount, afilu Agrippas HaMelech notel hasal al kitefo v'nichnas. Each one of them, even King Agrippas, takes his basket of Bikkurim on his shoulder and enters the temple. And the Mefarshim explain, those who bring Bikkurim are not obligated to personally carry their baskets of Bikkurim on their journey to Yerushalayim. They may have them carried by relatives or servants, as the Rambam tells us in Ilchot Bikkurim, chapter 3, halakha 12. But once they reach the Temple Mount, each owner must carry his basket of Bikkurim himself, because the Torah states in Sefer Devarim, chapter 26, pasuk 4, the Kohen takes the basket from your hands, which indicates that the Kohen takes the basket directly from the owner. And the Rambam explains in his commentary, the Mishnah emphasizes that even if the one bringing the Bikkurim is King Agrippas himself, which was an exceptionally important and powerful figure who ruled in the period of the Second Temple, he must personally carry his basket of Bikkurim Ad shemagia lazara, carrying it until he reaches the courtyard. Higia lazara v'dibru alevim bashir. Once he reaches the courtyard, the Levim break out in song from a pasuk in Tehillim, chapter 30, pasuk 2. Ahumcha Hashem ki dilitani v'lo simachto evai li. I exalt you, Hashem, because you lifted me up and you did not let my enemies rejoice over me. And the Mefarshim explained this Tehillim, this pasuk in Tehillim was chosen because of its similarity to the Bikkurim passage. Just as the Bikkurim passage begins, an Armenian tried to destroy my father, right? Arami Oved Avi, praising Hashem for saving our forefather Yaakov from his enemy Lavan. So to this Tehillim begins with this phrase, you lifted me up and you did not let my enemies rejoice over me, right? Ki dilitani velo semachta oivai li. That is in Rabotai today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.